Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Luscious Living Podcast, or if you're watching me on YouTube, welcome back to another video. I am really excited to chat with you about food today and the foods to really help you with hormonal weight loss. Now, I'd like to break down the difference between hormonal weight loss and regular weight loss and why I use hormonal. Now, for many years, some of you know my story, some of you don't. I struggled with weight really since I was 10 or 12 years old. And I constantly battled between what to eat and how to lose weight and what kinds of exercises I should be doing. And I drove myself absolutely insane. And this is when I was about 25 years old. I was struggling with binge eating to the point where I felt like I had a mental issue because it did impact me mentally. And I would say to myself, I know not to do this, but why can't I feel like I have a control over it? And I was always obsessed with different diets. I did everything from keto to paleo to macrobiotic to vegan to raw vegan, all of this, okay? And I always thought it was about the food. And people would always say online, it's about eating healthy. 80% of your abs is built in the kitchen, or 90%, whatever it is, or abs are built in the kitchen. And I never understood this because I always ate healthy. In fact, I have a whole video on weight loss mistakes and really understanding the difference between eating for weight loss versus eating for fat loss, or eating for health versus eating for fat loss. Okay, very different. And what I'd like to bring to you today is really how to eat for both. When you're supporting your hormones and you're looking to eat at a slight calorie deficit, but in a way that feels good, that fuels your body, that fuels your vitality and vibrancy, that has your hair, skin, and nails glowing, versus just focusing on one or the other. And these foods I'm going to share with you are going to be foods that are easily accessible to most people, ways that you can make them flavorful. And there's only 6 of them that I want you to prioritize, okay? And then if you stick around to the end, I have 3 foods. If you're on YouTube, you're watching me on video, I'm holding up 5 hands. 3 foods that are marketed to us as healthy, maybe even hormone healthy, high in protein, but they actually are going to inhibit your weight loss progress, okay? So let's get right into it. And by the way, if we haven't met before, my name is Selin. I'm a registered holistic nutritionist, and I do work with women's and men's hormone health. And I love working with people on weight loss, fertility, pregnancy, postpartum, perimenopause, menopause, just because there's so much we can do to fuel our bodies and really take care of ourselves to look and feel our best. Okay, so let's get started. Now, the number one food that I recommend eating more of to support hormone health and as well as weight loss is going to be cruciferous vegetables. These are going to be the broccolis, the kale, cauliflower, turnip, rutabaga, bok choy, things like this, okay? And this is what I'm recording live, so let me get my phone to turn off. And that is what a live production looks like, ladies and gentlemen. So cruciferous vegetables like these help to work on the liver, which is going to help detoxify the liver, and they contain a compound called N-carbonyl. You want to have these kinds of foods at least 2 to 5 times a week. I know 5 can seem like a lot, but this could be half a cup that you throw in with, maybe you have a side of Brussels sprouts or cauliflower with your pizza. I don't care what else you eat it with. I want you to increase your cruciferous vegetables. And why I say this as well is excess estrogen, the main hormone that gives female our curves, will hang out in the hips and thighs if you are struggling with weight gain and you're like, I'm doing all the exercises, I'm eating less, but it's actually going to be very hard to spot treat. Obviously, this is genetic as well, but it will be hard to lose weight in the hips and thighs unless you also work on estrogen, okay? So cruciferous vegetables. This is absolutely key. And you can put this in the air fryer, you can steam it, you can, make, let's say, broccoli cheddar soup. You can make last week, my partner, he was craving poutine, and I would love to also have poutine with him, but I actually did roasted cauliflower and then did everything else with the poutine. So got that in there. You can also, you could put eggs and shred, for example, Brussels sprouts. You can do a roasted kale Caesar salad, whatever it is, a roasted kale and sweet potato salad, which is something I just made this week. There's so many beautiful recipes that you can make, and I actually have a download for you that's called Eat Your Way to Balanced Hormones. Okay, so I highly recommend downloading that. You can even add cauliflower to a smoothie, and you can't even taste it. It just adds a beautiful creamy texture to it. And these foods are very low in calories. You cannot overeat broccoli. Okay, if you can, just let me know below. But it's hard to overeat some of these foods, and therefore, the more you eat of it, you are going to be filled up with fiber. You're supporting your hormones, you're full, and you're eating less calories, which we ultimately need in the end, okay? So that is my number one. Number two is going to be protein in general. This can be plant-based protein and animal-based protein. Now, for weight loss purposes, I do find that having lentils and chickpeas, things like this, are lower calories and higher fiber. They do keep you full nice and long. That being said, foods like eggs, chicken, salmon, beef, sheep, whatever it is that you eat, can also be really, really important because it is so high in protein, and protein keeps you fuller longer. There's really two nutrients that will keep you fuller longer, and that's protein and that's fiber. And fiber is going to be found the most in legumes like lentils and chickpeas. And then we also have protein, okay? And the more that you keep your protein levels high, the more you're going to be battling against losing muscle, which happens to all of us as we age. It's crazy. I was in China over May and June, and really after that trip, I focused more on cardio. I didn't weightlift as much as I have been over the past 7 years. And it is wild how much muscle I have lost in that time. And that's okay. I actually wanted a less of a muscular look to myself. But muscle is so, so important. And it just showed me how quickly we can actually lose muscle. So we have to be actively working with our body to increase protein at each meal, and really about 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal. And to give that context, one egg has about 6 grams of protein, and about 4 ounces of chicken has about 30 grams of protein. It really depends on the cut and weight and things like that, okay? So we have protein, and this can be found in lentils, again, chickpeas, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt. Protein is going to be absolutely key. And if you are really looking for weight loss, I do recommend getting a lower fat version. I'm not crazy about low fat, but if you can do 1 or 2% over full fat, or if you do eat full fat and you just cut down the amount, that also works, okay? Now, moving on to the third one, and that is berries. Berries like blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, cherries, these can be frozen. These are loaded with antioxidants, and, and antioxidants help fight against inflammation. We are all exposed to inflammation. Also, if you know anyone or maybe yourself that has anything ending in itis, so arthritis, pancreatitis, etc., it is an inflammatory condition. But we also need these antioxidants for glowing skin. We also need this for hormone health. And berries are also super high in fiber and low in calories. So last night, as always, I craved something sweet. And so I ended up having a big cup of frozen blueberries. And I was craving, I was just craving something really, really just sweet, okay, especially when I'm tired, which is a whole other concept of its own. When you're tired, rest, right? I'm also on the journey with you, but I was having some blueberries. Sometimes I add a little bit of soy milk and I add a bit of monk fruit, and kind of has that as an ice cream in a way. But they are low in calories. It doesn't spike your blood sugar, and you end up feeling really good about your choice, as I did yesterday. Okay, when I was craving something sweet. So berries, really, really good. Again, great snack. Let's say you're craving something in between lunch and dinner or after dinner. Berries are going to satisfy your sweet tooth, add fiber, and really make your skin glow and your hormones happy as well. All right, the next food to eat for hormonal weight loss is going to be fatty fish. And I know there was a time where people, the stigma, there was a stigma around eating fat. Fat makes you fat. Well, eating fat give you glowing skin. We actually need fat to build hormones. Okay, so the building blocks of hormones are actually made from cholesterol, which the liver produces naturally, but we also need through food, through fat. So this is fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines. You can also get these fats from walnuts, chia seeds, olives, and eggs. But really fatty fish, especially if you have genetics that are Mediterranean or live by the sea in any way, maybe Southeast Asian, maybe you are Nordic, for example, you might actually need a little bit more omega-3s. And for me, I notice when I need more omega-3s when it starts to get a little colder out and the inside of my nose gets very dry. Sometimes people have itchy scalps, partially due to omega-3 deficiencies as well. And if you crave a lot of ice cream and a lot of cheese, the chances are that you need more healthy fats and so more fatty fish as well. Okay, so that in itself can help you with weight loss because you're not craving cheese and ice cream, which are high in calories and they add up quickly. Okay. The next one on the list is avocados. So avocados are packed with healthy fats. They can help regulate cortisol levels and promote satiety. So why can they help with cortisol levels? We need also healthy fats to help with the adrenal glands. And the adrenal glands are the ones that are going to be producing our stress hormone, which is cortisol, and our sex hormones as we age as well. And the more stressed we are, the more it's going to impact sleep, which is then going to impact our appetite through impacting leptin and ghrelin. It can impact your fatigue, so you are not going to be maybe making the same choices that you would. I know for me, when I'm tired, I just want carbs, right? And so versus when I don't, I have my appetite and cravings much more regulated. And so the more that, and actually this is also true for many people, is under stress, you can also just eat more, right? Or under anger or frustration, whatever it is. And so avocados are really, really wonderful for helping reduce high cortisol levels as well. Okay. And we're just looking at food. I'm not suggesting any supplements or herbs in this case as well. Then the very last one that is, so important is leafy greens. This is everything from spinach. I did mention bok choy, which is in the cruciferous vegetable family, but asparagus, celery, watercress, anything green and stalky is going to be really important for the liver health, which is really important for hormones. It is going to be packed full of nutrients that your body needs to support hormone health, to support cognitive function, and they are very low in calories. So if you find yourself confused as to why you're eating healthy, but not really getting the weight loss that you're looking for, just want you to eat a portion of protein and have the rest of your food with leafy greens. And if you focus on eating that, you will lose weight. It is inevitable. And I just want you to eat more of these foods. You will start to notice a difference in your skin quality and your hair. It does cool inflammation. You might notice a reduction in acne even, especially along the jawline, which is hormonal. So these are really, really important foods. 6 foods that are going to help you with your hormonal weight loss. Now, I promised you that we would talk about 3 foods that can be marketed as healthy that are also going to slow down your weight loss progress. And these are all foods that I used to eat a lot of, or even if you, and again, and they were getting in the way. And I really have released over 45 pounds, really 50 pounds since I first started making content. Okay. And so these 3 foods to reduce. Number 1 is going to be granola bars and a lot of those protein bars. They are often going to be filled with ingredients that you don't need. Whey isolates and soy isolates and different kinds of gums and different kinds of preservatives. Again, I also use some of these foods when I'm in a pinch, but on a daily basis, I do not recommend these foods because they don't always provide that much satiety, or they are filled with artificial sugar. So maybe they provide satiety, but then they get you bloated. And granola bars are very high in sugar. I know there's a really popular granola bar out there that's marketed in such a lovely way. However, it's filled with sugar. It's just a sugar bar essentially, which you can obviously do if you want to. But it's really looking at, is this the best snack when it comes to weight loss? And if you're really looking forward to where can you see the gaps in your progress, I would eliminate granola bars and I would replace it with raw vegetables, carrot sticks, celery, bell peppers, maybe add a little bit of hummus for flavor. But sometimes we have to trade flavor for the way that we want to look. I've been saying to myself lately, trade the snack to look like a snack, or omit the snack to look like a snack. And you can look like a snack and have a snack at the same time. Don't worry, I got lots of snacks. Okay, fruit is actually my favorite snack, and that's something I didn't include in that list, but it definitely goes hand in hand with all of these recommendations. Okay. All right, the next one, this might be surprising to a lot of people, but that's nut butters. Now, nut butters can be a wonderful food to add to a piece of toast, maybe to a smoothie or those energy bites as well. And in moderation, they're really good. And most of the time, those foods can actually be a little addictive as well, especially if you do find yourself restricting. I know for me, I used to have a crazy nut butter addiction. I would just eat it by the spoon. And so those foods can add up in calories very, very quickly. It is good for you, but high calorie dense. And they can actually make the bowels a bit sticky or sludgy as well if you consume them too much. Okay, so nuts are wonderful sources of healthy fats and protein. However, again, they are very, very nutrient dense. So if you are looking to lose weight, I would recommend omitting them or really reducing the amount that you consume. And we do need to really make sure bowel movements are top notch because that is how we eliminate excess estrogen in the body, one of the ways. Now, the last one might not be necessarily a health food, but a lot of the time we could be like, yeah, it's made with rice, it's made with quinoa, whatever it is, but it still adds up and makes the body hold on to water weight, and that is crackers. Crackers are delicious. They are a tasty, I guess, same thing. They're tasty, they're delicious. However, it's really hard to just eat 1 or 5 crackers for most people. Usually it's 10 or more. And next thing you know, you have about 300 calories worth of crackers that didn't really fill you up as much, did provide maybe some satisfaction. But again, this is where a nectarine, a pear, grapefruit especially would be great. Maybe pair that with some celery. Again, it's not going to be the same crunchy satisfaction as a cracker, but celery or carrots can actually provide that crunch factor, and they will be very, very satisfying as well. You're getting your nutrients, you're getting lots of vitamin C, again, for adrenal health and cortisol. You are getting in fiber without getting in lots of calories, okay? So there you have it. We have gone over the top 6 foods to eat for hormonal weight loss, including a bonus 7th with those with that fruit there. And then the three foods to reduce when you are looking to have support with your weight loss goals. Okay. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. I am here for you. I'm here to be of service. I know what it's like to feel totally confused about nutrition. I really want to serve you. So I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a wonderful day. Bye.